What up, everybody? Duck here. Welcome to the stream. Bitcoin up on the screen. Yeah, happy Saturday. Get out there and get some sun. Let these longs print, right? Just don't mess with it, right? It's hard. It's hard, but it's what you got to do. Okay. You know your invalidation points down here, down low. Okay. So until that happens, right, you just need to just let this do its thing, all right? It's barely starting to, looks like it wants to break out of this little downsloping wedge here, right? You see we have a candle breakout and then follow through price action, another candle outside of this little wedge. Okay, so that's a good start. Next, it'd be nice to hit this larger, you can see a much larger, where is that anchoring from? Yeah, we were anchoring it right off the top of this same stuff here. So that wedge, yeah, it'd be kind of like that. So let me zoom in on this a bit here. And you can see we need to get out above this one next, right? That's kind of what we're just looking at, is this white trend line now, all right? It's not as important, these downsloping trend lines, as it is to just maintain these, flip these levels of resistance into support, right? Those are more important, but either way, you kind of need both of them at the same time, because in order to start getting up here, right, you have to be breaking through these anyways. So it just goes hand in hand, right? So Bitcoin, yeah, I mean, you got your dip into the buy zone, didn't really ever lose it. Even the time that you kind of almost lost it, you immediately engulfed, right? So it was never really in jeopardy for the most part here, okay? This 786 has been, really solid for us, right? And we're sitting well above it. Okay, so if we continue to get this price action to the upside here, which is what we need, this follow through here, we're next first looking to just get right here up to 32.8, and then from 32.8 we would then look up here for like 34.3. Those would be some next kind of critical areas that we'd want to see, regarded as support now on our way up. Okay, they're not targets, they're just areas of interest. Okay, next area of interest. There's many areas of interest on the way to targets, but depending how leveraged you are though, and how you want to play this, there are going to be traders that take profit in this blue zone up here. I'm not gonna lie, that's 3-1. They're gonna take that simple trade and they're gonna be done with it and they're gonna move on. Okay, so don't be surprised if when we get up into this, when we get up into this area up here where these blue lines are, which are the C and the A anchor point of the harmonic, right? When we get up here, don't be surprised to see a small pullback. This is where, again, you're going to look for that hidden bullish divergence, okay? So it wouldn't be a big deal, all right? Look where the entry is, all right? This is not concerning, right? But it's going to probably happen. So just, if you feel like, oh no, I'm letting all my gains go because you see it start to dump, just be patient. You're going to see something like this and then wham again, right? So it just part of the way it works. Just look at it right here on this XABC leg. So you run up and then you have that partial decline, right? Then you chop around and then you run again, right? So that's kind of what I'm talking about. So yeah, Bitcoin looking really good here. We got that little breakout in the past 4 hours. Basically, we kind of broke out of this initial downsloping little wedge in yellow. Okay, so that was a good start. Zooming out again, you just see us in this massive range, right? And again, this is why we don't take profit at us personally, really, at this blue, because it's just the midpoint of the range. You see this yellow dotted line here represents the midpoint of the range, where you have the range high and the range low, right? So you can just clearly see that this is just right smack dab in the middle, all right? So we don't necessarily want to take profit here. This is a small decline, right, on the way to much larger prices. So this is not what we're really concerned about, okay? Does that make sense as to why we're not concerned with it? We just, once we zoom out, you can see we have just much larger, golden retrace, deep retraces that we have, in sight, basically. So you don't want to exit the positions too early, so this is the hard part, though. I'm not going to lie to you guys. This is what, it's hard to see unrealized profit and not lock it in and not realize it, right? And if you realize it and you get the 3-to-1, it's not like you should be upset about it. It's just, yeah, maybe there was a little more out there that you can go for, but getting your 3-to-1 and walking away for a couple of days and coming back is nothing to, be ashamed of either. That's part of how you learn on the way to letting real runners run, right? You gotta, it's just stepping stones, okay? Just stepping stones. So look, plenty of traders, us included, can identify this range low here. Maybe they don't have the harmonics, but they can maybe identify at least that they're buying at the bottom of a range, and they're going to either sell at the middle or the top of a range, right? We're hoping to create a new higher range outside of this range that we're in, which gets into the golden zone territory. But, what I'm getting at with a lot of traders being able to identify this is, yes, they can identify the entry. They can get a good trade going, be in profit. The kicker is that separates, the kings from everybody else is being able to, as price starts to run, right, and then run some more, they're able to take their stop losses and just trail them strategically. Whereas Bitcoin then continues to, paint these new higher highs, higher lows, that trader is then continuing to just chase price action with his stop, right? As Bitcoin again comes up, starts painting, more price action here, right? And you end up here again, that trader is chasing that stop, right? Trailing that stop. Price action runs away. He's found another low, trailing that stop. And this is going to be your ultimate test over the next few weeks, is to see how high can you get this entry to run without stopping it out. I mean, it's kind of a fun little game you gotta play. The game's called Gains. All right. So if you like playing this game we call Gains, then learn how to trail those stops. However, manually or by a percentage trail. And again, even when you trail a stop, it doesn't have to be for the entire position. You could trail a stop for 40%, 50%, 60%. So even if your stop gets hit and maybe it wasn't and still kept running, right, you still have some moving in the up direction from the original entry. All right. Some of these entries are just really epic right now, and you don't realize it right now. Okay. We kind of are realizing it because we're talking about it, but if you're not zoomed out enough and you don't have a bigger perspective of what's happening here, a trader could be in here and out here, and then that's it, right? Boom, that's it. I got some gains, I'm done. So like having that bigger picture perspective, is critical in allowing these sick entries to run. I mean, yes, that's okay to get out right here. You still make money. No one goes broke taking profit, but I mean, there's just so much more upside there, right? So that's really going to separate, everybody else from the kings is being able to have the mindset to see those unrealized profits and not just want to immediately lock them in and allow them to just continue to print. Now you got to do it smart, right? Like as soon as you get the opportunity, you know, you can bring this stop loss up into your entry or just below your entry, or I mean, you can be safe with it. I'm not saying be reckless and not lock in anything. The stop loss is going to protect your gains, right? Whenever it hits, you're going to be in profit, all right? Or at worst case, break even or a small loss. Like, we have very, very little downside here. Our risk is minimized, okay? So you just keep that downside risk minimized and leave the upside potential unlimited, right? Not that it's unlimited, but just let it run, right? Let it run. So Bitcoin up 1.3% on the day, sitting at 31.7. You know, the entry was basically 31.550, right? That's what we had always said. So you fell a little below it. You went to 31.50. So you fell $500 below the entry, and then immediately engulfed back up above it, came back down, squared up the engulfing candle, and now you're rallying again. Okay, so just simple, just price action, nothing to worry about. And again, we said, look, this is only a matter of time here, because eventually these oscillators are going to turn on us, and that could regard this, you know, that's how the stop would happen, right? So the bulls are trying to step in here because they realize, you know, this is critical times here. Speaking of the oscillators, looking up here, look, exactly what we wanted, right? Last night we said we need to come up here and we need to start painting a positive momentum island on the you know, positive momentum histogram here, where the zero, right? We broke above the zero. Here was our mountain, our next positive momentum island, and we painted exactly that, exactly what we were looking for, okay? So if we're continuing to get the type of variables in the oscillators that coincide with our thesis of an upside move here, then what are we worried about? We shouldn't be worried about this, okay? So again, RSI, you need to see this RSI get above this 50% kind of neutral zone here, right? The yellow dotted line is that the mean, right? The average, just the midpoint. If this was a large range where this was the bottom of the range and the top of the range, this is your range midpoint, right? So again, you need to get above that, and then you can, you know, getting it above 50, really in the 60 and above territory, this is bullish territory. So we need to be messing around up in here with the RSI, okay? We're still way down here, which that tells us a couple things. It tells us that, well, for one, we still have work to do, all right? We haven't, and we're not home free yet. We still have to get above this midpoint, and we have to regard it as support and continue to run. So that's the first thing it's telling us. The second thing is that look at all this room we have to run, okay? So we are nowhere near, you know, overbought territory by any means. And once we are, we still have to come up here and paint some kind of, you know, gosh, stupid trading. We still have to come up here and paint some kind of divergence, right? Where we paint this negative, you know, we start losing our relative strength in overbought territory, and we start painting a higher high on price with a lower high on the relative strength and the MACD, and then this is where we look to maybe take some profit, right? Not right here. Not right here. We're just getting started, okay? So nothing to worry about yet on the RSI, just kind of doing its thing, but in a good way. So Bitcoin right here seemed to be back testing that breakout, back test that downsloping trend line, a little break, a little hook, and then we need the go now, right? We're looking for the go. Okay, so Russian Ethereum, same thing. Look, you're just hanging out right in that entry, right? Right in that entry. So a trader from last night would have been, you know, into some profits here. Stops sitting down here, and this is where these red lines are here. One of them is just from a higher time frame. They're basically pointing at the same thing, right? So stop below the red line. I want to do it like that. We're using this wick from right there. We're using that wick. Okay, so stop right there. So let's zoom out a bit. Get a look at this. So again, you're just in this big range, right? Big range where you can see this rectangle, and we have this downsloping trend line. This one's critical. excuse me, this one's critical because on ETH, we've just never broken it. And ETH, we've been talking about ETH. ETH is the most bullish thing we have right now because it's going to outperform Bitcoin, and it's set up beautifully right here on the 4-hour. We have all of these touch points, almost another one here at the C. So we've just refused to break out of this. So again, we've been talking about that downsloping trend line for some time now, all right? And when this sucker finally gets to it and it finally breaks, right? I don't know what it's going to take here, but when this thing breaks, like, it's going to send, all right? This break hook and go is going to send. Where it happens, we don't know, but when it happens, it's going to send. That is for sure. All right, unless of course this completely gets invalidated and this stops. I'm talking about if you break out of this and you back test it, you're gonna send it. That's what I'm talking about. All right, of course we got to get there first. We're a long ways away, right? Because we were right there, but when we fell away from it again, we just came so far away from it and opened up that gap, right, where we need to come back to it. So again, this is great entry area. Great entry area for somebody on Russian Ethereum here. Grandma should be in both Link and Russian Ethereum right now, okay? So don't do her dirty. Make that phone call. All right. Okay, so ETH, we were looking at these oscillators, okay? We had the 3x bullish divergence, and then look, follow through, positive momentum, engulfing the previous island, right? Engulfing this previous high. So now when you look at it like that, that is bullish convergence, okay? The positive momentum island is going in the same direction as price. We're making a higher high on price and a higher high on positive momentum, okay? On the RSI, same thing. You're nowhere near. Like, you have so much room to run. So much room to run. You're not even near the midpoint. So again, let's get up above this midpoint, regard it as support, and make our way up to the high side, 70, 80, above 60. 60's right here. So let's get above 60, and then, this is where we're really just printing, okay? So we're at full send right there. But right now you're hanging out right here. Right, so much room left to run here. Not even getting started yet. Okay, so nothing to worry about yet. Russian Ethereum set up to do its thing. Okay, ETH to BTC again. What did we say here? Hidden bullish divergence, starting to double bottom. Oscillators are in positive territory. Okay, so we have positive momentum continuing. Okay. We have the RSI nowhere near even the 50 once again, so we have plenty of, look at all this. It's almost like the RSI wants to square up right here. Come and square me up. Okay, I'm gonna run up here, I'm gonna back test the 50, and then I'm gonna come and square you up. We'll see you there probably tomorrow night. I don't know, next stream. Okay, so ETH to BTC, hidden bullish divergence. This looks good. I'm not even sure. You might even be painting some. That high up there is really high, so I don't know if it's too high. Yeah, see, it's too high. You needed like a 1618. It's in the range. This should have been an 886. So it's not a true harmonic, but again, you can see the XABCD wave analysis. It doesn't always have to be an exact harmonic to still give you the same type of price action that a true harmonic would have given you anyways. All right, it's still going to paint the wave analysis. I mean, just the XABCD with the follow through off of those completion zones, right? You just have those pumps off those zones. All right, we'll look at the Dodge coin here in a second, and you'll see exactly what we're talking about as it pumps off of the harmonic. Okay, so moving on to Russian Litecoin. You're hanging out right in the bullish Bartley long entry area. You're just still right in that box, right? So Litecoin, all right, look at this downsloping trend line and the difference between this and Ethereum. So you could see these yellow circles up here marked all these touch points. Okay, You had even another touch point on June 15th. You had another one to make the A here on June 30th. And then finally on June 4th, you broke out of it, and you've basically just been following it all the way down, right? All the way down, just regarding it as support. And that's huge. That's good to see. Painted another Gartley, and now you should pump right off of that, okay? So ETH, though, ETH hasn't even broken. ETH is like right here, guys. You see how far away from it is? And then we're going to break out, and we're going to back test it like this, and then we're going to send, okay? So ETH is sitting right here, so far away from this. All right. So yeah, Litecoin looking just fine here. Again, stop. You can have your stop below this X up here if you want, or if you want to be a little, if you're, spot or 2X, 3X leverage guy, you could be down here still, give yourself some room to breathe. But if you're, 10X, 15X degenerate, you better be up here. All right. OMG, again, same thing. You're just kind of hanging out in the entry. Nothing's really changed, and that's not a bad thing, right? We didn't dump. All right. So just hanging out in the entry without nuking, allowing these variables to turn positive, okay? Starting to print some positive action, approaching this 50%, range midpoint on the RSI as well, across the board on everything. Initial harmonic sent you up, painted another one, looking for another rally, okay? OMG. AVAX, same thing. You're just hanging out in that long entry area. AVAX, depending, I guess, where you paint this from. Let's say it was here. Yeah, that actually looks better, because we get the touch point from the initial touch point. We get the A. We do get the C. We get this A. We basically get this C as well. So that's really solid trend line there. Let's go with that, okay? So again, we're approaching these critical areas. All right, let me fix that. Approaching these critical areas. Here was your long entry, XABCD. You don't have much room left to go, right? Before you eventually hit this downsloping trend line again. And again, hopefully you just pump off of it. It doesn't have to be that dramatic initially. It could be like this, and then you get it, right? So a lot of times it is more like that. It's just not as dramatic all the time. Like, we did get a dramatic one on Dodge, but the Dodge is like that. Dodge is a meme. Yeah, I'll pull up Doggy. Okay, so isn't it Korean Litecoin? Probably, but the Koreans answer to the Russians, so it's still Russian Litecoin. FTT pumped. You got this initial pump, right? A little bit of a back test here, just kind of resetting itself, but FTT was ready. Okay, FTT was ready. That initial pump that Dodge just gave you is this one. Now you're gonna do this small little back test, and then Dodge is gonna send it again like that. Boom. And what did it do? Boom. Basically went right to that A touch point on that harmonic. That's why you target those A and C's like that, right? So the first one goes up, hits the A, you back off, then you'll go up, you'll get the C next, right? Okay, FTT, yeah, looking good, looking fine here. If I were a stop loss on FTT, I'd be just below $22, okay? Just below $22. Anything above that, full send, okay? Full send. You're also basically similar. You're just in this big range, right? Big range. So approaching that midpoint again. So let's get above that midpoint, back test it, hit that C, and eventually get to the top of the range. Once we do, again, this is where we don't expect the range to hold up for much longer, okay? We actually are expecting ourselves to just hang out right on it and then send, okay? This could be literally in it, on it, below it. It doesn't matter, just right at it, okay? Just it's like reaccumulation at the top of the range for another pump. When you had the accumulation on the low, initial run, reaccumulation, run again. Okay? XLM. We have a nice little parallel channel that's coming off the tail of this harmonic. Okay, so we had the touch point on the bottom, came up, touch point up top, back down, touch point on the bottom. So ideally, next is come up, hit the midpoint, and eventually you find yourself touching the top of this again. What's going to happen there? You're going to be at the C, right? You're going to be at that C touch point of that harmonic. Whoops, which is, you know, a target, right? So you'll get up there, you'll hit that. It's going to be like that range midpoint of this whole thing. And then you're going to just continue on your way, right? So it's just the beginning. XLM, again, very, very low. I feel like we're going to be talking about this, I don't know, in a few weeks, and we are going to square this thing up, okay? All of these charts look like this, where you just had that nuke, right? And then you just painted some lower lows, right? But now you're getting that reversal, and you're just going to come right back to that square up at 65 cents, right? A lot of charts look like this, and, you know, that's basically what we're doing here, right? You're either going to get stopped out below the lows, wherever you want to stop. You can have it down here, 20 cents. You're either going to lose 20 cents and be done with this, or you're going to send this to 65 cents, right? There's not really anything else to do here, okay? This is just, you know, full send, right? 200%. It's just, there's nothing else that this points to other than completely invalidate, stop you out for a small loss, or you print. All right, that's it. That's it. You only have two options. It's either up or down. It seems like that's too simple, right? But literally, guys, simple. Keep it simple, stupid, like that. Look at this. AAVE backtesting this previous, what was once resistance as support, building yourself a harmonic at critical horizontal line support resistance areas. Okay, guys, this is bullish as fuck. Okay, buy more. Again, let's talk to her. 8 ball, you've been good to us on AVE. What's the deal, bro? Ape season, this fucker's just remained bullish for weeks on end, just without negativity. Just remains the light guiding, our guiding light, right? Lighting up our tunnel, our path. All right, so look at this. Gartley into another Gartley at critical horizontal line support. I mean, literally, all we gotta do is this: buy more, even more. You bought some here, then you bought more, and now you're buying more. Okay, so ape season, that's what you would do in ape season, wouldn't you? You would buy in, and then you would buy some more, and then you would continue buying more. That's what apes do. Bloody degenerate apes. They just continue to buy. And look, again, we just talked about this. Here's that damn square up here somewhere that we're gonna end up there, and everybody's gonna be like, oh shit. And it's just gonna be how it's gonna be. Look at that, right on the 786. Are you kidding me, bro? Come on. Duck's like just a fib without a fib, right? You can see, when you can see fibs without the fib, I mean, isn't that another, even one more variable coinciding with our story, that even without the target, we can see the targets? Or not necessarily target, but area of interest, right? Whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, right? I mean, again, one step at a time, right? We can't, don't get too crazy before it starts, right? Don't over leverage or nothing, but, you know, just know that as long as we're bullish here, we're in a position where we've put ourselves in a position to win here, right? Again, this stop, now that you've, you know, you got this initial Gartley down here, right? There was your stop. And now that we said, like, we let price run, sold off, painted hidden bullish divergence here, we ran again. Now what does that allow you to do is it allows you to take this stop loss and bring it up here, okay? And then now as price gets away from you here, and, you know, we get above this center point of, you know, midpoint, we start to hit these C and these A targets of the harmonic, and we continue to run up here, right? This is where, again, we get to bring this stop loss, and now we can bring it, oops, and now we can bring it above this next initial entry here, right? Like this. So you're just not yet, it's too close to it right now, but as price moves above this midpoint, you know, you could then use that as further protection from where you are currently, right? So that's how you trail these stops, right? And that's how you're going to allow these runners to run on the way up to higher prices, all right? Let's move on and look at Link. Again, look at this, guys. You're just hanging out at the absolute... Link has the absolute best entry possible right now across the board. There's nothing else that looks better entry-wise currently than Link. It is... I mean, Link is just at the absolute bottom. The stop loss, you can't even hardly see it. It's so damn close, okay? Which means you don't have to have it that close. You can, but when you have a trade like this, you're allowed to have a 3-to-1, okay? This is what it tells you. You're allowed to have a 3-to-1. Your stop can be way down here. But again, it can also be right here, and you can be really conservative, right? So it just depends the kind of trader you are. A spot trader can have it way down there lower, but a leverage trader probably shouldn't. So again, huge upside potential. And again, even this, we talked about this range, right? So we want a new range above that range, and this coincides with these square ups up here, right? So even this first massive target, it's really still in itself conservative, okay? You see this? So we can really be looking at stuff like this, guys. This is really how this works. It just it boggles the mind as to how this continues to go up. When it does, everybody's just like, no, I'm gonna short it here, 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 short it here, short. And by the time it's over, right, like wrecked. And that's just the way it goes. Price will always go higher than you think it will, and it will always go lower than you think it will. You'll never grab the absolute bottom or the absolute top, and this is about as freaking close as you'll ever get to it, because you have some variables telling you to do it, okay? Do it. Ape in right now. Do it. So these variables are helping you get this type of entry that most people... I just posted some shit on Twitter right before we went live. I said, public service announcement, bears are fucked. That's all I said. And everyone's like laughing, saying, I don't know, just comments are laughing at it. People are retweeting it, laughing at it. That's exactly what I wanted to see anyways, but like that doesn't bother me. I'm not gonna flip my basis because some plebe that doesn't know what he's doing thinks that this is the short entry right now. But I don't know. I can't believe that. What are you possibly looking at right now to be bearish? All right, I just don't understand. Yes, okay, how are we gonna be bearish? Very easily, right? Come down here, back test it, regard it as support, as resistance, follow through price to the downside. All of a sudden we're bears, right? So it's not that we're just stupid bloody apes that are up only always. We're just up only when it's time, and we're down only when it's time as well, right? We just have to wait for the chart to tell us. The chart will tell us when it loses 15, regards 15 as resistance, starts selling off from 15. We're at 1475, 1460. That's it. It's confirming to us we were wrong. Flip it. Now we were barely wrong. We lost 2 or 3%, and now we're short, right? So that's our ebbs and flows, right? Ebbs and flows. We're like water. We do what we have to do depending on the conditions, all right? So we have a couple requests now. This first one is Uni. Okay, Uni. Looks like Uni almost did. So let's see here. Let's see how we can paint this. X, A, 50% between 382 and 886. Yep, 50. Now you'd be looking 886. Yeah, bruh. Bullish bat. Uni. Send it. Coinciding variables? Probably. Boom, boom, boom. One low, lower low, third lower low, fourth lower low, 4x bullish divergence, tail end RSI bullish divergence on the 4 hour of a bullish bat, uni, add it to the list, add it to the stack, get you a bag. All right, there it is. Uni. Let's see, I'll throw it in the alts read only for you. Okay, there you go. Trade setup for uni. Boom. Next we have request for ADA. These are, I mean, I don't really have much doubt that these are going to look fairly similar. The divergence here is not as apparent as it was on uni. I mean, you still have some, but uni was way more apparent. Okay. So, not saying that ADA isn't going to pump. They're basically all going to pump if Bitcoin and Russian Ethereum pump. Okay, the RSI looks good. Looks good. Harmonic wise. Your swings aren't as discernible. Is this cipherish? Barely got the 382. 1272. Oh, we got the 1414. Okay, and then 786. So 786 would have been a little shallower, but again, this wick is a little deceiving. Okay, if you took that, not that stupid wick, you absolutely got a 786, and this would be a cipher. So yeah, ADA, it's gonna do what it needs to do. It's fine. This is again the Mac. Everything else is these are all gonna run as one. Okay, like always. Okay. Look, moving on. Next one we have requested was theta. Again, not as discernible as uni. Uni looked way better than both of these. Okay, the RSI looks good, but uni, that 4x MACD, that was sick. Okay, theta, you don't really have the same. It's a much bigger harmonic area. Let's see if we got it. Much larger pattern, which isn't bad. Yeah, you got it. 886, 886. Yep, you got it. Theta, bullish bat, just like uni, same thing. Okay. So bullish bat, theta, bullish bats are purple, ciphers are yellow. All right. Stop loss would be right where this is. Okay. Targets. Those are old targets. Targets initially will be, you know, top of this harmonic area. C and A high. Whoops. C and A high. Something like that. You would buy in this area here. Stop loss there. Boom. All right. Data. Again, looking back at that uni one, bro, that shit. This. Okay. No joke. No joke. Very discernible. Very discernible. Okay. Can you guys see what we're talking about there? Initial push down, massive amount of negative momentum. Okay. Price continues to paint lower lows. The negative momentum's less. The bears are just less of them are around. Another low, bears are even barely there. Final low, bears are gone. Okay. And now positive momentum has turned. Okay. This is it. This is it. That's what you look for. Add a bag of uni to the bag of bags. Okay. Moving on, we will look at the dog. And again, you're going to see, there it is, right? We said we're going to pump. We're going to have this small partial decline. And then you're just going to freaking send it again. Okay. Another one is coming. Another one is coming. Okay. This one, though, will be green. Will be very green. Actually, it's kind of like a... yeah, about like that. Okay. The dog. Again, look at this. Same thing, guys. Ooh, we got to zoom in to catch it. But you can see it when you zoom in. This low on the negative momentum was lower than this one. Okay. And during that same time, price put in a lower low on price. Bullish divergence right into the buy zone, 886, right? 886, bullish bat, where you have a 50% B. Your C is between the 382 and the 886, and you retrace right down into an 886 completion zone, okay? Tail end RSI, bullish divergence, and then you sent it, okay? Look at this. Also, you had this downsloping RSI trend line forever, okay? Once you broke that, fully sent, you also had this range midpoint, okay, that you are now above it. Okay, so look, break above it, back test the 50, right? Break above it, back test the 50, and then you continue to run. Once you get above this 60, which is right where you parked basically the first time, this becomes uber bullish territory, and you continue to print. Okay, dog. You're going to find yourself up there 27, 28 cents here pretty soon. Okay. Yeah. So pretty much the stream for today. I mean, nothing really new, just kind of confirming where we are on things, what we're looking for here. We basically got the break. We're working on the hooks, and then it'll be time for the goes. Okay. So everything, though, looks really nice. You should pretty much be in every one of these assets. That's how your portfolio would look. The way you distribute it, I'd be heavier on ETH than anything. Behind ETH, your second best guy is probably OMG right now. Is that what we said? No. Hold on. Let's confirm that. Gosh, these are all looking really good, though. Link, Ave. Okay, there we go. So ETH number 1, Link number 2, due to the just where you are. Ave number 3, because it's been sending. Link is right here, guys. Link is literally, we're barely saying buy zone on Link. We haven't even said buy more. Okay, Link is here. Ave is already like Ave is leading the race. Ave has lapped everyone. Okay. Ave lapping motherfuckers, right? Whereas Link died. Ave pumped. When Link died, Ave pumped, all right? So Ave much more bullish, but Link has a better R risk to reward if you haven't been in Ave this whole time, right? So ETH, Link, Ave, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and then distribute from there, okay? All right. Yeah, let's get one more confirmation on that from the Link boys. All right, Magic 8 Ball. Don't let us down. We're giving you one more shot before we close the stream. This is important. Link. Do. Buy more. Perfect. Why are my streams only available live? They're not. It just sometimes I fuck up and forget to hit record. But you have probably 90% of them that you can go back to. Guy Styles, just go to the YouTube channel. They should all be there. I don't know. I don't actually look, but let's see here. Videos? Yeah, so when you go to the YouTube channel, okay, it barely shows anything. But then when you come up here and you hit videos, they're all in there, okay? So you just have to go to videos, and then you can watch back. I believe they're all in there. Yeah, they're in there. Yeah, it streams to both Twitch and YouTube at the same time, just depending what some people prefer one over the other. But OBS that we're using is streaming live to YouTube and to Twitch simultaneously. I just believe YouTube does a much better job of actually recording the videos or kind of categorizing them and keeping a deck. But yeah, it's funny that you said that. I did not record this stream. I noticed it as I read your comment. But that being said, this stream is exactly like the stream we had last night. So if you missed today's stream, just watch the one from last night. It was just like 12 hours ago, right? Like nothing really changed. So yeah, you could basically compare both those streams. They're basically going to be a replica of the other. The only difference today is we added a uni, an ADA, and a theta. And the one of this that really stood out was uni, and I already posted it into the Discord in the alts read only, okay? So you should still have everything you need, even if you missed out on some streams, okay? So yeah, that pretty much concludes this episode. I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Duck out.